I love it when it's fat and spicy.
This is fat and spicy.
Fat and spicy, motherfucker. Fat and spicy.
It's another fat and spicy.
So you want me to say fat and spicy? Fuck that. I'm out here.
Fuck fat and spicy.
Dude, we're mega superstars, bro.
To the old lady I cut off at the light, I am sorry, but you were too slow.
Have you seen Werewolf Labs, man?
One of my captains, he was like, Sheriff, we seen a werewolf. I thought he was crazy. What werewolf are you talking about? And then he started acting crazy a little bit. You know what? I think you're 5150. I'm gonna put you on administrative leave. You go to the hospital.
Sounds like you've been smelling what we've been smoking.
Look, if there's a mayor I want to be at.
Right?
Hey,
I know.
I'm for mayor.
Eating nothing but roaches and, mind you, fingers. I just love fingers.
Chicken fingers?
No, homeless people's fingers.
Are you still messing around with women who are taken?
All right.
Oh my God! Say it ain't so. The viewers are in awe.
Okay, but you know what? Everybody has a past.
Question for Josh: how did you learn to be a developer for 5M, and how would you recommend a beginner starting?
I've got a background in the IT space for a long time. There were a lot of things that I could kind of grasp, like coding and stuff, but I'm not deep in certain areas as I would like to be. But I would say, the best way to start anything in life, doesn't matter what it is to just jump head first into it.
What is roleplay?
It's a place where I can escape personal trouble that I have going on in my real life. I come here and I RP because it's a place that I can come and be somebody other than myself, other than the guy that gets up and goes to work every morning.
For me, it's a place where I can come build characters outside of ourselves, try to promote interactions with other people. What I do love is when people take the time to turn around and have interactions, meaningful interactions. Even if it's just a few words, those few words can mean a lot.
This is Phat and Spicy, the podcast brought to you in city, out of city. I'm Phat.
And I'm Spicy.
And this is the Phat and Spicy Show.
We are live. Look what we're doing, man.
What do you mean? What are we doing?
PNS Studios brings it. PNS Studios brings you Phat and Spicy 2.0.
Guys, we are live for the first time ever in the history of ever. I don't think.
Get to see us for once.
Yeah, I don't know all about that. Guys, we are live for the first time.
So I'm Spicy, or
I'm
Hanson,
Phat.
as you guys know. There's
I'm
Patsy
Phat.
up there.
Jacob.
He's back there, hidden under the producer's booth. But who do we have above us, man? Who's the other guy?
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yo.
Solid.
It is. Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to bring you none other than Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Welcome to the Phat and Spicy Show, The Rock. How are you, Mr. Sir?
Let me get off this stream. I don't know. I didn't know you had another guest.
Is it Mr. Rock?
I think it's Mr. The Rock.
No, guys. Welcome back. Real quick, guys. If you don't know, I'm Phat.
I'm Spicy.
And this is the Phat and Spicy Show. Guys, we are live. The cameras are on. You are able to see my face. You're able to see Anson's beautiful mug. And you are able to see our guest now. We're going to be doing the show this way from now on in hopes to be able, to give you guys something to look at, to let you see behind the scenes of how we look when we say the crazy things that we say, the reactions that you miss. And, it's a little something more than just staring at those dead characters that are there. We'll still probably have the characters come in eventually, and just kind of have our faces moved over. But it is something that we are trying now in hopes to kind of better engage with you guys. So if you guys like it, please let us know. If you hate it, tired of seeing this face already, hey, by all means, let me know.
Don't get me wrong, bro. Everything's going to be fun. All we have to do is work together, and it's going to be bro Jewish. No, it doesn't work when you can see my face, does it?
No, dude. But this is the first time.
Crazy seeing your guys' hands all moving around like crazy over here. Like,
Does nobody else move their hands when they're talking? Like, is it just me?
This is how I do Spicy. Like,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
and he was like, bro. And I was like, bro. And he was like, bro. And I was like,
what is that? It's called that is called what is it? What kind of acting? Method acting? No. When you get in character. Yeah.
Yeah, method acting, man. Can't
Yeah,
keep me out of it.
right.
The minute those cameras roll, I do believe that I'm Spicy. That's all there is to it.
Man, I think that's great. I only reason I talk like that is more or less I feel like it's a lot easier to convey when you're saying things. I mean, who would want to just sit there and be like, so we are here? It's just boring. Who wants to see that? I don't want to see it.
Yeah, but we can also watch you working on all your other side projects.
Oh, you saw all that just pop up?
We can see it pop right off the screen in your chubby little cute cheeks. The reflection is clear.
Multitasking.
No, I was looking at the chat and trying to see the chat, and I forget I have the chat right here in front of me. Guys, you guys know I don't do the producing things. You know, we obviously woke Laws up out of her sleep, and we're like, "Hey, get on, we can't sleep." And you know, I was like, Spicy's done got into a bag of Colombian flour, and he can't sleep.
Wait, no, what? No, there's none of that.
Oh, you.
I've had a couple of beers.
I like the way he's like, I don't do that.
Hey, stop it right now. Okay? You guys can't see the camera.
Speaking of Colombian flour, let's introduce the plug himself.
Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Our friend, Absolute, bro. What's up, man?
There's nothing much, man. Enjoying life. Glad to be on the show. Looking forward to it.
I know everybody's thinking the same thing, man. Well, let's just go ahead and just say it. You know, I can't believe this guy's white. You know, he caught me by surprise. They caught me by surprise.
I believe
Yep. Sorry to disappoint you.
I mean, I don't know what to say.
We had him on the show, Fat and Spicy, episode 1. He came on as Anton Taxi, and did such a fun job that we thought it would be fitting for him to come on the Fat and Spicy 2.0 and be our first guest, and really get a feel for what we're doing. Man, it's so good to have you here. It's so good to see you guys' faces. Jacob, I'm just gonna say it, dude. You look exactly like what I thought you'd look like.
Damn.
100%.
Jesus Christ.
Haven't you already seen him though before?
I've seen a picture, but you know, you can't get, like, you wouldn't know that I had the long hair because in all my pictures, I've usually got it in a ponytail pulled back and like my hair slicked back with some little gel, you know, when I work in the kitchens.
True.
But when I'm home, I let my hair down and, you know, like,
I whip my hair back and forth. Mm-hmm. There you go. In the mosh pit, right in the middle. No, I think this is one of the first times I've ever actually shown my face. Even on my own stream, I've never shown my face.
No, I haven't either. I have you do it though, bro.
Do what?
I want to hear Paco come out of that face I'm looking at right now.
Yeah, do it.
Do the roar. Do the roar. Do the roar.
So Paco, what's it like to be?
So Paco, what's it like to be on a podcast? What's it like to be on the Fat and Spicy show?
You know, I can't even do it, dude. I haven't done the voice in so long. I haven't RP'd in so long, man. It's a little different to do it, you know. The pressure, you know. You got
That's so good, man.
You got the guy back there. You got my boy back there eating mango chips.
Hey,
you are eating dried mangoes.
Let's not go over that.
I thought they were dried carrots at first. I'm not gonna lie. You know, I mean, hey, we all know how much Josh loves his carrot juice.
Yeah,
No, don't come over here. Don't come over here advertising brands. Don't be coming over here advertising your brands. He's trying to plug himself in.
Delish.
He's trying to plug himself into the. He's like, these are mine. You can get them on my website. www.IEatmangoskins.com.
Absolutely.com.
Yeah.
So is it just mango skins? Is that what that is?
No, it's just cut up mangoes dry.
Let me see. Bring it close to the camera. Let me see.
Wait. So what's the difference, Jacob, between cut up mangoes and mango skins? Because I know, like, you can peel the skin off a mango. Do you dry those and eat those? Is that a separate thing? I don't know.
No, it's mango skins. Don't let him lie.
No, these are just mango slices. That's all.
Let me see.
Are they dried or are they
They're not
chewy?
dry. You know what it tastes like? It tastes like a fruit roll up, but without all the sugar.
No.
They're so
I could
good.
go for
How does see? I never understood why people did that. Why people do that? They say that. They're like, it tastes just like this, but without all of this. I'm like, so it doesn't taste exactly like it at all.
Consistency of a fruit roll up, but without all the extra sugar. That's all.
You know,
The reason people say that, though, man, is so you have something to relate it to if you don't know what it's all about.
pudding has the same consistency as sour cream, but that don't mean you want to eat a cup of it.
Well, you're right, but you also compare the consistency from one to the other. So if you eat one, you can say, "Oh, sour cream has that," but you're not talking about flavor. Flavor's two different things.
That's like people saying that the Impossible Burgers taste like real burgers.
No, they don't.
It's not perfect one for one, but it's good enough. It's close.
Do you eat those?
Do I eat what?
Absolute. Do you like the Impossible Burger?
Yeah. Look at him.
We don't have an Impossible Burger here. I don't know what that is.
A vegan burger.
Five
You can
Guys
get
and
them
like
at
In and
Burger
Out.
King.
It's a vegan burger. It's a plant-based
Oh no! I don't mess with that stuff.
soybean. Like the
If
soybean.
I'm gonna get a burger, I'm not getting a vegan burger. No,
Like
I'm
that
gonna get a real burger.
jackfruit, where they make the jackfruit into like, it's supposed to taste like barbecue, like pulled pork or something. It does not.
Anytime there's like fake plants that they've turned into meat, I avoid that like the plague. I'll just have a real burger, please. You know, like
I've seen them make banana bacon. Or is it plantain? It's like, yeah. Did you see that? That was crazy. Yeah. She was like, it's so good. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's not good. It's not. I'm like, I never understood the whole thing of wanting to or hating meat so much and being so against it that you try your hardest to make stuff taste like it.
Yeah, if you're gonna go that far, just eat the fucking meat. Right? Oh, it tastes just like it. My wife, one year bought a package of tofu pups. You know those tofu hot dogs? And she brought me one.
Tofu pups?
Pups.
Oh, tofu pup.
You're throwing up already thinking about it. It sounds nasty.
No, I was smoking already. And she brought it out to me, and I took a bite out of it. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And she goes, it's a tofu pup. You'll never tell the difference. I'm like, if I couldn't tell the difference, then I would have said, what the fuck? Get them out of my house and bring me a hot dog. I can eat 6 hot dogs.
So is it like a mini like a mini corn dog or something like a?
No, tofu pup. It's just a hot dog made out of tofu.
It's just the name of it.
Just the name of it.
Like a hot dog, pup, you know.
No, I mean I get what you're saying, but I never heard of it. I've never heard of it, so it's completely.
Imagine
weird.
a hot dog made out of tofu, same size, same.
I've never even had tofu before in my life.
Tofu's actually.
You've never
really
had
good.
tofu?
I like it.
Well, I'll tell you what. My wife force-fed me some, so I'll bring you some.
No, I'm good. I'm just.
Look, if you cut up your tofu and then you fry it up and then you dip it in like some sweet and sour chili sauce, so good.
Why don't we just ask Josh how he likes his tofu?
How do you like your tofu, Josh?
I don't eat tofu.
Attaboy, that's what I'm waiting to hear. So, you know, I'm a chef, full time, and I have a really, actually, you know how I'm opposed to tofu, but I have a really good recipe for a tofu salad. And the way you prepare the tofu.
I thought you didn't like tofu.
Well, hold on though. You don't have to like it to cook it for other people. What you do is you take the tofu, you cut it into cubes about, you know, size of your eyeball, and you marinate them in.
I know y'all hear the lovely sexy in the back. Let's go ahead and give it absolute his.
I'm gonna cut your camera off, mother.
Don't get can't cut.
Anyway, you throw in a little toasted sesame oil, and then once everything's marinated for about 24 hours, you throw that shit out the window and you make yourself a steak. Perfect recipe.
Okay, I believe you.
I didn't pay attention to anything you said. There's no way in my life I'm ever gonna eat
Never
tofu.
pay attention to anything I say.
I'm never gonna eat tofu. I've never went. I'm growing up Mexican. This last thing you go to the store for is tofu.
Okay, so that brings, since we're talking culinary and cultures, let me ask you, man, what is to be said about the argument that Mexican food is just the 3 same ingredients recycled: tortilla, beans, and meat, with some cheese and lettuce and whatever.
No,
Like,
I mean, what do you consider meat? I mean, there's a lot of meat.
Did you see his face when you said all that?
There's a lot of meat, though. I mean, it's a very broad ingredient, you know, to classify everything as meat. You know, so
your meat.
And classify anything as anything flat bread could be classified as tortilla.
That's true. I had that argument at work the other day.
So-
Some guy was like, "Can you make me a Mexican pizza?" I'm like, "Isn't that just a fucking tortilla?"
Yeah, I mean, so it's like it's a very broad statement to sit there and say it's all Mexican, it's all the same.
I think you have to hit the bongos.
Oh no, we're not doing that tonight.
No, not online. That's crazy.
I don't think I can do that live anymore. I think that's off the table now.
Is it?
I tell you what. I will vape a substance. How about that? Here we go. It's right here.
That there's maple syrup from the Grand Canyon. As you guys know, they have a lot of maple trees there. Josh knows he actually lives out there. You ever seen the Yeti?
What's that?
What are your beliefs on Bigfoot? Do you think he exists?
Oh,
Dude, I live in Bigfoot country. I live up here in the redwoods. This is like Bigfoot.
I don't believe in Bigfoot.
You hear that? You hear that? He doesn't believe.
I have people in this little town that swear they've seen him in town.
In town?
Of course,
I mean,
At
I
the pub.
remember, was it, not to tell my age, but Harry and the Hendersons. That's the only Bigfoot I know.
my God. John Lithgow.
Yeah, that's it.
I know the movie you're talking about, but I don't know the intricacies.
Was Harry in that movie? Was that the guy that played the Bigfoot? Wasn't that Herman Munster?
No, I think it was like some football player.
Oh, was it? 'Cause
Yeah.
I always thought it was like. Remember? Did you ever see My Cousin Vinny? Remember the judge?
Yeah. Come on.
I think that was.
Youths.
Yeah, I think that was the guy that played here.
I thought it was like some,
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm.
I thought it was like an NFL player, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
I know that the guy that
I thought
the guy that played Law was a football player.
I would. Who? The Goonies.
Did you ever see the Goonies?
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. Was he a?
You Goonies guy?
Hey, you guys.
Hey, you guys.
Yeah.
I'm not. I've seen it like once. I can't say that I'm like.
You gotta show your kids.
Wait, you're gonna give me crap earlier about some toy, and you don't even know what the Goonies
It's no some toy. That is a Turbo Man doll. Okay.
There's no way that is more classic than the Goonies. No way.
I don't know. It depends on who you're asking. This is one of, if not Arnold Schwarzenegger's biggest role ever in a movie. Undoubtedly.
Wait a second.
It doesn't come close to the Goonies.
Yeah.
Goonies is like a cultural phenomenon.
Well, no. Did you just say Arnold Schwarzenegger's biggest role
Biggest
in any
role.
movie was in Jingle All the Way?
No, it's probably something like either what's that one with Danny DeVito where they switched and they got pregnant twins. And then he played Predator. That one's probably a big one.
I mean, these are all good, but they're not classics.
I like Kindergarten Cop. It's not a tool.
I did like that one too.
Come on. If you don't know about Jingle All the Way, it comes on every year. I mean, they show Jingle All the Way more than they show Terminator. Yes, they do. They do.
Really?
They do. Trust me, I know these things.
He's like, I watch a lot of TV.
No, I don't, but I watch a lot of Jingle All the Way. It's kind of like a thing I do every year. I'd rather watch that over like what is y'all's go-to Christmas movie? Let's see.
Scrooge.
Grinch.
Which
You like
Grinch?
the Grinch?
Grinch.
Which
Cartoon
Grinch?
Classic.
Cartoon classic.
Cartoon class. Oh shit.
I thought he was gonna say the old school Frosty the Snowman.
No, that's the best. Grinch.
Charlie Brown. That's a good one.
You like the Charlie Brown? Is that
Nah,
your favorite?
Jingle All the Way. Jingle All the Way. That's my favorite.
That is it, huh?
Jingle is it.
Mine's Gremlins.
I can recite that movie right here. Just
Oh man, yeah. I forgot that they had a Christmas.
I forgot that was Christmas.
Ernest Safe Christmas. That's second.
What?
To me,
Ernest?
like,
Get
I
the
don't
fuck
think
out of here with
anything
your
beats
Christmas movie choices.
What about
Ernest Saves
Elf?
Christmas.
What about Elf?
With Will
I
Ferrell.
have never seen Elf. I don't
Hey.
like Will Ferrell movies. I have
What?
never seen Elf.
I'll tell you what I like Will Ferrell's movies.
Like Will Ferrell
Wait,
movies.
you don't like Will Ferrell movies?
What's
Let's get him out of
I've
here,
only seen
guys. Y'all say goodbye to Spicy. This was his last broadcast.
I've only seen one movie of his that ever made me laugh, and it was The Other Guys. Love that one.
You didn't like Talladega
Because
Nights?
of him. No, I did not like Talladega Nights. It did not impress me.
Man.
Step Brothers.
Anchorman was not funny to me. Step Brothers was fucking stupid.
Wow.
I just couldn't do it. I don't like him. He's overplayed, and he's more of an overactor in my opinion than Jim Carrey. At least Jim Carrey has some substance, and he can like go serious and have like.
Really?
to his
You know, I
movies.
actually like Jim
Will Ferrell
Carrey, but
just plays.
I think Jim Carrey is very one direction.
What do you mean?
Like to me, Jim Carrey's all his characters have always been that wild, outlandish kind of crazy guy.
Oh,
You know.
but He's done like what was that? Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, The Truman Show.
The Truman Show, yeah.
He's really stepped out of his bounds to really make some.
But when he goes into like when he goes into the comedic roles, is more or less that genre. He tends to play the same kind of guy.
The movie that he was in, you couldn't even tell it was him. Oh my god, I think it was
The
like,
Grinch.
No, it wasn't. No, he was like some homeless guy in the movie, and you can't even tell that it's him.
What was that?
It's like Machete, like she gets her leg cut off or something, right? Like one the chick in the movie.
What kind of movies are y'all watching? Jim Carrey as a homeless guy?
I don't
I'm
know.
looking it up right now. I can't find it. Wait, was Jim Carrey homeless?
The Bad Batch.
The Bad Batch. I see it.
Yeah, and you couldn't even tell it was him, like at all.
I'm reading this thing here that says that at age 15, Jim Carrey and his family were so poor that they were living out of a van. Like he actually experienced homelessness, with Jim having to quit school and become a janitor to help support his family.
Yeah, no. I've actually seen that.
I did not know that. Did you know that?
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen him talk about it. You know, but again, he's a very humble actor, I would say. You know, and I think same thing with you know, America's Sweetheart.
Jonah Hill. Jonah Hill's America's Sweetheart.
Jonah Hill. Keanu Reeves, yes. Oh, he said Jonah Hill. Keanu Reeves, thank you. What do you have against what do you have against Keanu Reeves?
Wow. Such depth to say whoa.
Come on. Okay, what about Owen Wilson? Wow. What is it?
No, Owen Wilson is another one. He can get his broken ass nose out of here any day.
All right.
No, and I'm not gonna buy that. Okay, so I saw Interstellar, and Interstellar, everybody's like, Matthew McConaughey did great in Interstellar. It would have been 100 times better with any other actor. He absolutely was not the right fit for that. I'm sorry.
Interstellar, yeah, that was weird.
He shouldn't have been.
That was a crazy movie, though.
It was.
Oh, I loved the movie.
Yeah.
Terrible choice of that.
Yeah, I don't think he connected as much to the role as the movie connected with the audience. Like the overall the movie, I think they saved him in that.
I liked it. I thought the movie was pretty good.
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I thought the story was compelling. I thought people enjoyed waiting to the end to find out what was going to happen. So that's how I judge movies. If I'm intrigued enough to keep watching it, then that tells me the story is decent. So the acting and stuff didn't really have to do anything. All they had to do was just not mess up a good story, because whoever wrote the story did a good job, which is why it probably got promoted to film anyway. And then the actor's job was just don't mess it up. You know, just go in there, just do a decent job.
Yeah.
Sure, cinematography's all right, and then you're good to go.
I mean, speaking of, while we're on the topic of movies and stories, you know, what do you think about these? What do you think about just Hollywood revamping all these old films again and again and again?
I think somebody needs to use that beautiful thing that we have called AI and ask that fucking AI.
But see, I think the fact is that they use it. They use it, but AI is only.
I did a thing on this like about 5 years ago. It's like a little video I did, but it's basically like it kind of highlights how the movie industry works. Most people don't know that there's only a few financiers. If you Google like financiers of movies, you'll understand there's only like maybe like 50. And all your movies come from the same 50 financiers. And it's actually really less than that, so I'm just ballparking it out. You're talking about your major blockbusters are probably 30 and below. And these same people finance every movie you've ever seen. Every movie. And they're not like hidden, you know, you can Google them, you can find out who they are. And these are the people that the studios go to say, hey, we would like to finance a film. We'd like you to finance a film. Because you got to understand it's like an investment. And then they have to pitch the story. Then they say, hey, don't worry, you're going to get your money back because we're going to get Tom Cruise in it. And you know he'll sell. You know, this is the kind of thing that the studios do to the financiers. And the financiers say, And then they give them like a couple $1 million to start production and everything. And then they want to recoup, right? This is why movies, it's all about making that money on the back end. You know, this is why I just think it's like a lot of people don't understand. There's a certain reason why movies are constantly remade, is because they approach it like a business. They look, instead of like it used to be entertainment. So now it's become so business oriented that everyone's like, well, how can you guarantee that my money's going to come back to me? And when they say, well, we've already got a market for this, we already have an audience, and we can calculate it based off stats from our last movie. That looks good when you're pitching it to a financier, as opposed to a really great story that no one's ever heard of or seen before. It's like uncharted territory. So it's just like if you go to a bank and you say, hey, I'd like a loan for a business. And the bank says, well, what have you done in the past that's like this business? If you say nothing, they're going to be like, nah, I don't want to finance that. But if you're like, hey, well, I used to run a hot dog store, and we did this, I did this. I mean, if you look at Shark Tank, it's the same concept. It's just movies, right? When they're looking at it, they want to see evidence that it's worked before, so that when they put their millions, that it goes well. Problem with that is that means remake after remake after remake after remake, because if it's worked before, it's been filmed before. So that's why we're forced to deal with that crap.
And that's why we have Fast and the Furious 13, 15, 17, 18, 19.
Yeah. I'm waiting for Jaws 26 to come out. I saw Jaws 25. It was one.
Yo, give it up for the people in the chat. Who's that? Was it, hey, you already pronounced that. Ceviche? Is that ceviche?
I would have said psych. Oh.
It's our fault too, we gotta support these new films as they come out. When new ideas come out, fresh ideas come out, we've got to be willing as the audience to say, you know what, let's collectively go support this, because if we don't, we're creating the circumstance that we hate by not supporting new films with random names that are probably gonna flop. It makes them say, well, let's just play it safe, and let's just, I don't know, let's finance Kong versus Godzilla 5, like that's what they're gonna do.
So do you feel like this is the same angle when it comes to video games? Like when we get Mario 8, 9, 10, and Mario Doctor, Mario Kart, it's just so many Marios.
Hold on, bro. Hold on, man. You got to bring it back. If we didn't have those, we wouldn't have GTA 5, which we love to play 5M.
Look, don't get me wrong. There was, I think Mario. What was it? For me personally, I think I stopped playing Mario games after Mario 64, Mario World, and what was the other one? Super Smash Bros. And Mario was in there. Like after that, it was just, and Mario Kart when they revamped it. But again, after that, why? Why can Mario Galaxy, Luigi's Mansion? I'm like, let them rest in the history class as one of the greatest duos of all time. Instead, you want to squeeze every ounce of juice out of it until it becomes something that nobody wants to even see anymore.
How many Zeldas do you need?
Oh,
how many times have you told the story? How many Assassin's Creeds do you need? How many times do you have to have somebody kill some pirates in Old West? And then,
Assassin's Creed had a good thing going with a different
second one, and that was it.
With you didn't like Black Flag? You didn't like some?
I did not. No, it was another way to capitalize. Why would you? You have pirates. They're on ships. They rob. They fight. They're against the queen and country, and they steal and they plunder on the high seas. At what point do you have an ancient order of assassins infiltrating and becoming them? It makes no sense to me. It's a reason to put them on the high seas. Must we really go tropical?
I can understand that. I can understand it, but aside, if Black Flag was in itself was just another pirate game, I think it was a great game.
If it had nothing to do with Assassin's Creed, it would have been all over.
Yeah.
But when you mark it like that, no. The first Assassin's Creed was, of course, the purest, and I'll tell you why. You got to hunt your prey. Given an assignment, you hunted your prey. You had to go through the whole fucking thing to unlock things and find them and get clues to where they were. And then you had to find the best way to kill them. And then you killed them, and you got the fuck out, and you were done. Like an assassin does, right? Okay, we're just saying that hypothetically. I don't know.
I like
the rest of these.
I also like the Egypt one. That was dope.
That was a good.
The Egypt one told a story that I enjoyed, but it was cool to see Cleopatra's titties. Come on, they were right there in the middle of the game. You can't tell me that wasn't there.
So do we like Do we like the assassin type games? Is that do we like
I guess
Hitman?
what I'm saying, though is I'm agreeing with you. As the games get progressed, they do get watered down. Although Grand Theft Auto is taking it to the next level, they just keep stepping up their game, which
I'm actually ready to see, because, and I think the fact is that with GTA is it's more or less they don't stay within the confines of what everybody else is like. Like South Park. The reason that South Park is great is because they don't hold to the narrative of the world. They're like, oh, don't put that out. That might offend somebody. No, put it out. Who cares? And that's the crazy.
It's kept South Park relevant. They're not afraid. It's weird. The world will try to force you to conform, but really, it's almost done subconsciously to silence you. As long as they can get you to conform, then you become uninteresting, and then they stop paying attention. But if you refuse to accept conformity, if you go against it, then even if you're controversial and people don't like you, you're relevant.
Kind of brings me to the Cat Williams thing going on recently.
Well, what's up with that?
Where
the guy's entertaining.
He won't be silenced. So he says, I won't be silenced. I'm going to say what I want, and if I get canceled, I'll get canceled. But I'll tell you what, I'm too big to get canceled, so go fuck yourself.
I think with that is kind of like what I would say to that is more or less like he is overall an entertainer, right? Mm-hmm. The same thing with Ryan Garcia, right? Like, look at what Ryan Garcia was doing before the fight versus what he's doing now after the fight. Is he still as loud as he was? When everything's done died down, he's made his money. Is he still as loud? Is he still as active and trying to save all these and change this world and everything as he said he was? Or was it just for media purposes? Was it just for the show, the views and everything? What were you saying, Lost?
You have to remember, too. Oh, Lost? I was going to say, you have to remember, too, real quick. That's assuming that you think Cat Williams is speaking the truth.
I think there has to be a hint of truth in everything, Like, you can't unless you're a really good bullshitter, but bullshit doesn't sell as well as people think it does. Especially when you're feeding on such a wide...
When the man says he read, 10,000 books by the age of 10,
But I'll tell you this. If I told you, hey, there's a dragon outside, you gonna go look?
I'm going to tell you that you're... No, I'm not going to go look.
Right. But if I say, hey, somebody just got shot.
I didn't hear a gunshot. I may peek, but I'm not going to run outside.
The thing, what I guess I'm trying to get at is this. The truth is so crazy that it still brings in the numbers or the same attention that if it was complete bullshit.
Oh, that's true.
And that's just a simple way of how the world works. That's how crazy the times we live in now is that you could say the truth and it sound completely crazy. And it'd be like...
That's why one of my favorite movies is Big Fish. You guys ever watch it? Speaking of the truth, the truth, it depends on the perspective of the person telling it sometimes. But I think I like a little bit of embellishment sometimes, and that's why Cat Williams is a great guest.
No shit. I'll never forget my grandmother used to say, don't tell lies. Lies is bad. But the truth can be made up if you know it.
I always say this, I don't lie to people. I just extend the truth.
Well, it's right. It's like when I tell a story, I will embellish points of the story, but it's because I want people to feel what I was feeling in the moment. It doesn't have to be exactly what happened, but I'm trying to, I'll embellish the story to bring about that grandeur of what I felt in that moment. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So sometimes a story I tell may be bigger than life or bigger than it was, but it's to try to get you guys to feel what I felt.
Sometimes the chicken needs to be seasoned. Yeah.
Have you guys have heard of Mr. Ballin, right?
No.
He's the streamer on YouTube. He tells stories, he tells murder stories, or he tells stories about serial killers or events that have happened to people, or he tells some of them are paranormal or something like that, but mostly they're stories of things that have happened, like crime stories and things like that. But he tells it in a way where he's not giving away the ending of the story right away. So like if, for example, he talked on a talk show the other day about how he tells a story, and he said like both his parents were writers, so they kind of taught him like how to give a story without giving away the ending before you're done with the story, or before you get to the end of the story. And he's talking about how like some people, when they tell a story, like for example, like there was a story where there was this guy who was married, and he was sitting in a living room, and he was staring at a lamp, and he said some people will say what he didn't know is that lamp is going to change that guy's life for the rest, or that lamp is going to basically change this man's life forever. But he doesn't actually, the way he tells the story is he will kind of tell you about this man's life right now, saying like, oh yeah, he came home, he grabbed some food out of the kitchen, he said hello to his wife, he kissed his wife. Like he makes you feel like you're actually there, versus like giving away every detail. He talks about like how this guy is staring at this lamp, but he doesn't tell you exactly why this guy is staring at this lamp until the very end of the story. And then because you always know that when he tells a story, you're always going to get some kind of like wow factor at the end, and most people give up that wow factor before the story is even over.
Yeah,
Oh,
you gotta
screw
keep
that.
the
I want
intrigue.
everybody to be entertained.
Yeah.
So storytelling
So-
plays a big part.
Yeah, so like what you're saying with, you like to get people to feel what you were feeling in the moment and all that stuff, that's kind of what this guy does, is he puts you into that story where you're literally like imagining yourself in this person's shoes, in these different stories, and then all of a sudden when you're surprised by it, like you get that reaction from it, that he wants you to get, rather than, oh, I knew that was coming, or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got in a fight, and the guy punched me in the chin. I'd tell you the guy punched me in the chin, and then hit me in the stomach, and then hit me in the ribs, because that's what it felt like to me. But in reality, he just hit me in the chin.
Or you just say, he punched my chin and my shoes was loose. Like I was like, man.
Oh, fuck that shit! I wish like I need to, man.
Like, I get it. Yeah, it's definitely storytelling is. Yeah.
I saw the chat. And somebody.
Oh yeah, Kurt. I think it was Kurt. Give it to Kurt, baby. Give it to him.
So, because we're live, we have to take a few restrictions, and I can't actually play the bongos for you.
So he's gonna play the fiddle for you guys.
So I'm gonna play the fiddle. Actually, I'm gonna play the piccolo. Go ahead and talk while I do this.
I had a friend back in college who would always extend the truth of her stories. She would say things like so dramatic, like it would be a situation where we all were there, and she's like trying to tell the story to some, like we're out drinking, and she's like telling the story that happened to her, and she would add all these like details that never happened, and I was like, girl, why are you lying? Like right now.
No, there's a difference between embellishing and just like completely just blowing it out of the
trying to
water.
make people think that this is like a crazy story, and I was like, you don't need to, because it already was a crazy story without you adding all these like things that didn't happen to the situation. Like
Yes.
And that's it. But isn't that the art?
The what?
Killed a yak, and then you killed 2 yaks, and then you killed 5, and then the fish got bigger and bigger and bigger. You know, that's the art of story, and that's why you have these great movies.
But you can't over embellish. It's just. Yeah. But other than that, though, let's go on the record to say that I don't watch any really crime, mystery, murder stuff. I think it's kind of like. Josh, do you watch that stuff? So is it? I think it's very gender based content. To me, I was about to say, I'm out of the girls I know, especially the ladies that I work with and stuff. That's all they talk about. Like, oh, did you watch? I'm like, no, I didn't. I don't find that exciting. It's like I don't want to know how they chop the guy up in 20,000 pieces and they use lime, a bag of lime to melt the body. Like, no, I'm good.
I've watched a few. It's not like something I go looking for, but I've definitely sat in on a few stories that have been rolling on my YouTube. Just YouTube will just play something random, and I'm like, okay.
But I will say there's a thing that I hate. Oh, what's the excuse?
What? Laws, you killed somebody for real?
She's like, I just need to know how to do it and get away with it.
You just told her, get the line.
When I first started going before I decided to go with the degree that I got in college, I was actually going for criminology. So I was taking like crime scene photography class, and I was looking at like real crime scenes that were disgusting. But
No.
and I
don't
was
wanna see that.
taking like criminology courses and criminal law courses and things like that, and so it was really fascinating. It's always just been very fascinating to me, like climbing
That's what they all
into
say.
the mind of a criminal.
Before their first kill.
Why are
Yeah,
they doing
right.
that? Yeah.
I just need to know what it's like to see if it's for
I've
me.
never harmed an animal. I'm good.
That doesn't mean anything.
Yes, I mean, there's
Hey,
sides. You
I
know,
think-
if
I'll
if
tell you what. We had a kid that grew up on our block back when I was 7, 8 years old, and this was the kid that would like blow up frogs with. Remember those little black cat
Inmates?
fireworks?
Oh no, the black cats.
No, the little black cats.
Yeah.
He'd tape 3 or 4 of them together and like shove them into a frog and blow it up. You know that guy graduated from law school and became a very successful lawyer in New York, like makes millions of dollars.
Yikes.
I've never done. You know,
I mean, it
I think
makes
the guiltiest thing I probably ever did was
That makes
I used to put fireworks down the ant holes.
What does that do?
Just
Scare
blow-
the ants. I don't
just-
think it kills them. Does
No,
it?
it just blows the mound. And you get ants all over you. You run around screaming. Yeah. Good times. I think,
In
but
South America, that's a delicacy. You could eat some ants.
Wait, Jacob, wasn't it you that was telling me that you were going to put some gasoline down an ant hole or something?
I did. I mean, what I wasn't gonna do, I did do it.
You didn't light it though. You were going to light it. Wasn't
I
that
was gonna
Or
light
somebody
it for
was gonna
sure.
Light it?
I was gonna light it.
Don't light it.
Why?
Blow your whole fucking backyard up.
And
Get
this
rid
is
of all
why
the
your
ants.
brother caught on fire. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. But I think going back to like the crime story things, I hate the way those people talk. I hate the way they tell those stories. What is that voice they do? And I know you know what I'm talking about, Laws. Some of them have that. Oh my god, I can't stand it. It wasn't. How do they do that? How do they do it? That storytelling, that
Like
voice.
They pronounce their words like this, or you know, it's like.
Oh, I think I got it. He's like, but that wouldn't stop him. You know, they're like, it wasn't until that they came home and then they found him. And I'm like, oh my god, shut your mouth.
There is a couple of guys on TikTok and shit that talk just like that.
Yes.
And then he came to the door. And then the guy answered the door and was a criminal and he stabbed him in the head. It's like, go fuck
Bro,
yourself. I don't want to hear this.
I hate that. I hate it so bad.
No.
I just want to know, at what point are we going to get to the point where we start, just not giving attention to some of these people that are just really bad at social media or just like really bad at just being influencers in general?
Hold on. Isn't there something to be said for the fact that we're actually talking about him, though?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
He left an imprint with the way.
I don't
he
know.
talked.
I don't know him. I don't know who him is. But that guy that sounds like that. Yeah, I'm not gonna say his name because I don't know it. I don't care to know it. But whoever it is, that guy. That's as much light as I'm gonna give that guy. You know, and that's it.
Nope. That's it, dude. I'm gonna talk like this. Welcome to the Fat and Spicy Show, Jacob.
All right, so we're having technical difficulties with Spicy's camera. It's going out. Goodness. Josh, do you consider yourself, or would you ever consider yourself to be a social media influencer? You ever vlogged? You look like a vlogger. Don't you lie to me. You look me in my face and lie to me.
I have no ability to influence anyone to do anything.
But have you ever vlogged?
No.
That's a fair question, though. Have you ever known an influencer to actually influence anyone? Like, really?
Yeah. I think it's just a title that people give themselves when they are doing stuff online.
I will say this: there are some influencers that influence like dancing, stuff like that, like little trends. If that's what they want to consider to be influencing.
Okay. I can buy the trends thing.
But they should be called what? Trendies.
Well,
I think some conspiracy theorists do would be like influencers in a way, like they go on, they vlog about their conspiracy theories and things like that, and then people end up, being influenced by them.
Well, it's also just audience based, right? If you have like a million, if you're able to go live and you've got thousands and thousands of people who tune in to see what you're going to say because you went live, whether you consider yourself an influencer or not, and whether the people in there agree with everything you say or not, the advertisers see it as this person has this much reach, so he can influence them. You know, not true. Obviously, everyone is not going to agree with everything you say in there, but the fact that you can reach that many people with any message, that's the chance to influence someone. So, just someone with a lot of reach, I think, is what they mean.
So I guess the title is kind of earned in a way. Makes sense to me. Jacob, are you an influencer?
I mean, I'm easily influenced by food.
It's kind of a
What's the
weird
last-
title because when I see it, when I look at it, what I see is the opposite. I see the larger you get, the more likely you are to be shaped and influenced by your audience. Not necessarily directly, but indirectly, right? Because
that's
once you know when you're small, you can say whatever you want. And the bigger you get, and the bigger you get, the more those compromises have to sink in. You have to be less you, and you have to be more everyone else.
So
Reality.
why is that though? Why is it the fact that you build this audience, you build this brand, but then all of a sudden you get big, you start changing? Is it because you change your demographic?
That's because you have to answer to the people that pay you.
People do not like individuality on a large scale. It seems like, you know, like if you ask everyone, just if you were to ask everyone on the street, hey, do you like when people are raw and authentic? Every single person you ask that will probably say, yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like that. No one says, well, I wanted to be like a robot. But the reality is when you get people in a crowd, that like mob dynamic changes, you know, just like the mob mentality takes over. It's not the individual making decisions, it's the mob. And I've always been the type of person, I don't care what you do in life, I don't care who you are, it doesn't bother me if you have a fee, you know, however you are is fine. But it's usually not that way across the board. If a certain streamer goes live and says X or B or Z, that person could lose their stream. And it's a weird thing because the reality is what they're saying is I'm only watching you because I think you should align with everything I think. Like, it's a weird culture we live in today where I heard someone telling me, this is probably like in 2013, this is when I realized this was really changing. Someone said, well, I'm not going to go to this restaurant because they did this on politics. And I was like, what? I was like, do you live your life that way? Because that's impossible to maintain. Like, I have a computer, I have a television, your car, what box of cereal did you eat? Literally every brand that ever exists. You're surrounded by brands 24/7. You mean to tell me you can pick and choose what your brands you're supporting and buying at the grocery store because they aligned with this political viewpoint? Like, that's just dumb. But see, we have a lot of woke, self-righteous people who think they can maintain that, but they really just use it to say, look at me, I'm special, look how I make decisions in life. I think it's retarded. So for me, I don't play those games. I'm a little older than that, so I don't do that stuff. Like, I think it's foolish.
Now this may be out of line, out of pocket, but as some of us know and some of us may not know, you did run your own server in 5M, right? You know, and you had to personally deal with those.
Oh yeah.
Those setbacks of, you know, having to be politically correct and stuff like that.
Yeah, you have to, and you really, you know, in life, if you want to run a community, you have to be the community, which is impossible and it's soulless. Like, if you want to be what everyone wants you to be, then that's a great line of work to do, right? Because they're constantly wanting you to align with them. It's like, well, if you don't think what I think, I'm leaving. Like, okay, like, it never really bothered me. Like, I'm not here to change myself to accommodate you or any of the other 1,000 people, because I can't be 1,000 people. I can only be me. And that's but a lot of people don't do that because they have a conflict of interest. They make money off of it, right? So once the money gets into it, all of a sudden they become anything to anyone. And really what they mean is they're fake, right? The best and most successful people who run big businesses usually have to find a way to be really fake, because what that means is, like, someone can come in their office and say, well, I like it this way. And they're like, yeah, I agree with you. And then someone can come in their office an hour later and say, well, I disagree and I like it this way. And they're like, yeah, I agree with you. You know, and you have to please everyone. And when you start doing that, you're fake.
I mean, where do you align at? Where do you align yourself when you start trying to please everybody? Where does your loyalty lie? Because it's not within yourself. Because obviously you don't care about what you think or what you like.
I have my, you know, I'm my own person, right? I have my own beliefs and my own thoughts and my own mind, just like every one of you who are watching this. And, you know, you have to decide, are you the type of, when everyone, you know, you hear these, on YouTube, there's a whole like, oh, this person sold their soul or sold this. Like people think that there's going to be this giant devil thing that comes out and with horns is like, here, sign right here. No, you don't do it that way. Let me tell you how you do it. You do it through compromise. You do it through, you have an actual viewpoint, but you're willing to change it because all of a sudden you want an extra dollar, or you want an extra friend, or you want an extra like, or an extra share. It's not these like things. And so literally anyone can do it at any scale. You don't have to wait before you have, I'm about to get accepted into the millionaire club. No, there are people selling their souls every day to get 2 likes on a, on a Facebook post. Like that's the kind of things that people don't realize. You sell your soul when you compromise your own personal beliefs, and you're like, I'm willing to do that because this is going to further my agenda in this particular regard. I think that's pathetic. It can happen to all of us, though. So you have to be vigilant against it. When you run a community like what I did, you guys know, I have a staff, and my staff meant a lot to me. So when they would make requests and say, hey, we should do this or we should do that, I really took it under consideration. And it's a fine line to know, am I doing something that is for the good of the community, but also staying true to myself? And the pool is always one way. It's always to compromise, forever. That's the pull. And you have to figure out, how can I not just do that? Because I could have just said, like, if I would still be doing that thing right now if I had no dignity, no self-respect. If I was like, hey, I don't mind, I'll just let kids come in here, and I don't care if it's a 7-year-old as long as he's paying me, like, I don't, that's what it wants you to be. And you always, every day, it's a struggle to fight against that, because then you look across in your competition, they're doing that. They're like, I don't care, I'm letting the 7-year-old in, he just bought 50 cars, like that's, and and then everyone's looking on the numbers and they're like, well, this server's got 90 people and you've got 40 people. That's because we do a whitelist. We care about the quality of people coming in. That server's letting any and everyone in, even the trolls, even the cheaters, even the 7-year-olds. Like, they don't care. They just know that
letting
going
them
off of numbers. Yeah. So but you have to figure out, what am I willing to, compromise on, work on, but what are, when you come into something and you're like, this is where I stand my ground, then how long can you hold that? That's a hard thing to do. It's a very hard thing to do.
I think that's the biggest thing, and what people don't realize, but there is also a fine line between, changing for the better of what other people think about you, and changing for the better of yourself. Because pride plays a big, big part in what we believe and what we don't allow ourselves, But there always going to be change for the good, and that's more or less, that's. I guess the easiest way I could say it is, if you can, and people always say this to me, they're like, oh, why do you all like to argue? Why do you like to, I don't argue and debate, because I'm very passionate about what I believe. If I was so easily swayed, then what I believed in, I never truly believed in the first place. But without a shadow of doubt, I would listen to you. And if you can convince me to see things your way, then teach me that way, but with an understanding that I am now switching my belief into that. It's not for, hey, I'm gonna make you happy, I'm gonna let you, just so you be quiet, I'm gonna say, yeah, I believe what you believe. No, that's not how I roll. That's not how I work. And I think that's the difference between, making a change for the good, is because you truly believe in what you're changing to. And it may.
Jacob's the first one to have that desk that says "Change my mind."
It's like this. I'll give you a perfect example. There's certain things that are on the table for discussion, certain things that aren't. Like, one of the things that was never on the table for discussion for me, that I knew when I made the city, was, I'm never going to have underage kids in my city. I don't care. I'm just not going to have it. I don't care who puts up the greatest argument in the world. That was a thing for me. I was like, they're either 18 or they're not playing. But then there were other things that I started off with where I was like, hey, I don't want any gang members being on admin. But I wasn't as rigid on that. I wasn't firm like that could never be changed. And so over time, many of the admins were able to pitch good reasons why, and other community members. And I was willing to be, talked into that. I was willing to be influenced, but that wasn't a core thing I started with the city, where it was like, I 100% will never allow this. It was something I was close to thinking that, but I was willing to listen. And as long, so you know, you have to figure out what are my core things, what are my core beliefs, what makes me me. Because if you're going to be running the server, are you just a shadow of what everyone wants you to be, or are you an actual person? So there are things that make you you, and then you run the city that way. But then there's things that you're willing to compromise on.
Now, this may be like a straightforward question, you know, but do you feel like that was one of the things that played a huge part in why you no longer run the city? Did you feel yourself changing?
Yeah. A couple things. Yeah. So I'd say one of the biggest reasons is, yeah, there are some things I can't compromise on. Number one, you know, I paid for the city. Okay, it's coming out of my pocket. I was 100% invested in it with thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. I worked really hard on it, you know, and I wanted to make sure everyone understood, like, look, at the end of the day, I'm the one who has to make these decisions because I'm the one on with the call with the server farm. You know, I'm the one who's having to stay up late trying to fix the servers if it breaks, to, you know, because we had hackers or whatever. Like, I understood that the onus has to fall on me. So my biggest problem was I needed to make sure that I was doing what I was doing, but needed to do, to be able to get that respect. It's nothing worse than someone's like, well, it's my server, but they don't put the work in, or they're not there, they're not around. And one thing you guys know about me is I spent more time, I was 100% all in. I was 24 hours a day, just in. So you didn't work harder than me. You weren't spending more than me. And I did that so I could have the leverage to get when I had to make a decision, people knew it was coming from a person who was knowledgeable on the situation, who was present, and who was concerned and very focused on the betterment of the city. And why would I not be, right? Would I want to make a city that fails? No one would want to. So, you know, the biggest thing for me that I think that made the city where it didn't continue is, it wasn't just that. There was a lot of little issues.
Yeah, no.
But I would say that's an aspect of it for sure, because there was, you know, I had great relationships with staff overall, and I think over time, you know, it was really, you know, as stuff got more stressful, because, you know, the longer you do it, after you hit year 2, you know, you get into that second year, things get real stressful, and or a year and a half, about a year and a half point, it got really stressful, and you know, it was hard to turn the corner. I had to make some difficult decisions. You know, and a lot of people didn't agree with those decisions because they didn't understand why I was making those decisions. Like, for me, right, one of the big core decisions, I'll just give you an example. One of the big core decisions I wanted the city to be free. That was not tenable because hackers started attacking it, and I had to raise our security up. And in order to raise your security up for DDoS, you have to pay, because it's all about filtering the traffic, so it's money. So then I had to play the money game. So, but when I was playing the money game, I was like, all right, well, I have to charge now for little things just to be able to keep the security of the server up so everyone can come in. But now, when you hit like 6 months, now all of a sudden you're like, okay, how do I retain the good help that I have? Well, do I just pay them on top of what I'm already paying the server? Everything's coming out of my pocket. What do I do? So I was like, well, maybe the community would be interested, because they're the ones who benefit from their tickets being processed, right? They're you know, if they're in the city and they open up hey, I'm stuck in a wall, you know, they have all these things, or I want new cars, or I want new clothes, can I have a pet, etc. Can you set up a business? Can I get a website? Like, all these things that we were doing. Well, that doesn't just come because no one's doing it. Someone has to do it for you. And we in not only the events that we ran, which I thought were super custom, they all had to be facilitated by someone. The staff that I really had no way to compensate, that they all deserved it. Every last one. You yourself, you know, deserved it. Everyone deserved some sort of like incentive to be involved in it. And in order to do that, I tried to, towards the end, to try to flip that switch. Okay, let's figure out an actual approach to this that can get the city out of the hole, and so that money could be dispersed. But yeah, it's a hard thing to turn, especially when people are burnt and they start leaving, and then you're trying to bring in new talent. How do you keep the talent you have if you can't pay them, you know? So
True.
That's a really hard thing to do, and I don't think people understand. You can have something free, and this is one thing I learned. Free is great. It's ideal. I was idealist when I started the city. But the reality is, the best things in life, The best things in life, reality, oftentimes you have to pay for it. Everyone knows this, right? If you want to get a streaming service, if I told you I had a $2 streaming service, you're going to be like, nah, I'm good. I got Netflix. You pay more for Netflix, but you know what you're going to get, you know? And the same thing, if you were going to go to a doctor and you're like, well, my back is hurting. The guy's like, I got you for $10. And you're like, nah, I think I'll go to a real doctor and pay my $400, you know, because you know instinctively that you're going to get a better quality of service. That is the thing that really, that's the failure of my part, where I didn't understand that soon enough. I thought everyone would rally behind free, rally behind the change of traditional 5M servers, price gouging everyone, but no one ever did. They just looked at it and said, this isn't as good as what I pay for at this city.
This wasn't what.
And I was
well,
like,
it's not what they're used to.
Yeah, and people would, and the other thing I underestimated is most people would rather pay for it. Most people don't want to level up a player in a one-on, you know, like a game. Like they don't want to level up a player. They want to buy the skills and just come in day one with superpowers, right? They don't want to spend a year leveling up someone. They want to buy the super.
I guess
like
the easiest way to sum that up. The easiest way to sum that up is nobody really wants a salad, but they want to be. They want it to be there in case they ever decide, hey, I want a salad. And you could have lettuce. You could the restaurant, but the restaurant. I'm not saying in a literal sense. You know, people eat salads, but you know, the restaurant would lose so much money on lettuce just going to waste every day. They don't care. They just want the salad on the menu.
The analogy I gave to it towards the end, which I thought was funny, and this may be a little off, but it's an analogy. I used to tell some people on the staff, I felt like I was the good guy. What I mean by that is I believed like you go to the girl, right? Like she's like, oh, I want you to have flowers.
I want you to open the door.
And do all this stuff. They say that, right? But the reality is,
corny.
All they wanted you to do was pull their hair back and blow their back out. You know, that's all they wanted, and choke them while you're doing it. Like that's no, I'm being real. If you think about it, it makes perfect sense. Like, you know, people will espouse that they want a thing, but then their mental, their body, their actions go in another direction, right? Like if a girl actually goes on a date with a guy who pulls out the flowers and he's like, this dude's corny.
He's corny. Yeah. Like you're a creep.
Yeah.
And so that's what we were doing. We were like, yo, we're gonna be that server that everyone says they want. And we were the kind of the like, it wasn't like we were corny, but we were definitely not like, it wasn't what they really wanted.
No, you were boys to men. I'm there for you.
No, you wanted
really
to
love.
Yeah,
they love the toxicity. We were trying to get rid of it. They love it. They love toxicity in most cities. They love all the things that we were trying to prevent as admin. You know, all the killing and arguing and fighting and people actually hating each other. That stuff that we thought was bad in other servers. Well, they love it. It keeps them coming back. They love interacting with people they actually hate.
That dopamine.
You know?
Okay.
So these
that
are the things that I learned.
Is that then something that you have to expect from any server?
Oh yeah,
and just go with it because do you know what I'm saying? Does it have to be the norm that
just go look at the reviews? If you look at the reviews of the servers,
I'm going to tell you the truth. They're not. Yeah, listen to Jacob. If you look at the reviews of the servers, you'll be shocked the stuff that's happening in some of the most populated servers and stuff.
And they're still popular, still going on. Like, because and then the same people that are in there complaining are still flying in. It is ridiculous. I've seen an owner of a city just straight up like talk crazy to somebody, like literally like kiss my shoes crazy, and the dude does it and then flies back in.
Doing this thing. I mean, if it causes so much drama and so much stress and so much wind up inside of you, Josh, I know it cost you a lot of your own personal life. Then why the fuck do it?
Well, you know, for me, it was also a passion thing. You know, if we still have the AAC channel up. I mean, it doesn't have anything new coming to it, but I put it up for nostalgia and anyone who wants to look at some of the stuff that they never completed, like quests and stuff like that on the playlist. But I was really into like the storyline stuff that we were able to create, the creativity, the type of people we were bringing together to create stories. And still to this day, I don't think there's a channel about 5M or a city about 5M that has done anything close to the stuff that you can see on our YouTube channel. You know,
I agree with that.
So that is what started my You know, like I loved storytelling, I loved filming, I loved making, you know, people think when they were in the city, as opposed to just, oh, I'm here to talk with my friends in a corner and shoot people. Like, you can do that anywhere.
We agreed on that, but
what can you do different
it's
here?
too hard.
Well, that was a big
My
draw
questions
for me
are too
to be
hard.
part of. That was a huge draw for me to be part of your creative team, Jacob. Was when I saw the amount of production that you guys put into your stories. And
Yeah.
I want to be part of what you guys are doing here. You know, it's fun to be the judge and to sit there in my pizza parlor, but I want to be part of it. I want to help make these stories because I saw what you guys were doing. You guys worked so hard. That UFO that you made, guys, amazing. How long did that take?
Thanks.
Yeah, right there. I don't know how long it took him, but again, I mean, I think, well, to me, I would always tell Josh, like, man, get out of the office, man. Come RP, I need you. I know. I was like, come on. I'd have to drag him literally by his ear out of the office to come RP,
It took
man.
a lot of work, man. I really, you know, it's hard when you ask a question like that. It's hard. It's broad, but like I'll tell you, like there are times that I would lose like track of the days because it's like, you know, you're doing 15, 18-hour days. That might not seem a lot, but you know, you got to eat and live too. But I was doing 15, 18-hour days, and that's crazy. You lose track of time and you start to get consumed in it. And I think just overall, you know, I enjoyed it. I had a lot of passion, but now being out of it, I'm like, oh man, it's nice to have life again.
I can get it. I get it. It's more or less like, do you feel like you did the best you could?
100%. I did the best I could do. I'm not perfect, and maybe being a server owner wasn't meant for me. I'm cool with that. Like some people, they're like, well, I've got to be. No, everything has a beginning and an end. I don't care what it is. Whether it's a business, I don't care what it is. Everything has a beginning and an end. Nothing lasts forever. And our server and the way in which we made it, we put so much effort into it. It's sort of like a race. Some servers, they can run a real long time because they don't do a lot. They don't put a lot in. And you know that because you go to the city and nothing's ever happening. There's no storylines, there's no secret puzzles and quests and events on the weekend. So because they're running at a slower pace, they pace themselves to run a longer race. Well, we didn't do that. What we did is we went in there and just hit the ground running, and we were just like, oh yeah, we got this. And we were like, hey,
robots,
how many stories can we do? How many movies can we do? How many X can we do? And that will burn you out. If you actually work hard every day, like insane hard.
Oh yeah, no, I got burned out. Just
you probably won't make it longer than we will, you know.
Yeah.
Jacob, I already feel like you're getting burned out building this city right now, man. You work so hard on this thing.
Man. Look, I've literally taken almost a week off. I had to take a week off. I could not sit at the computer, and I kid you not, I could not sit at this computer and look at any more code. I was sick. I was literally disoriented and dizzy. I had to just turn it off. I wouldn't go watch TV and play games. Like, I can't do it. I cannot sit here and just watch this and look at this all day, 24/7. I don't know how Josh did it. I mean, but then again, he's been looking. He's got like 30 computers behind him. He's been looking at computer screens all his whole life.
No, I'll tell you the answer. You already said it before the show when we were talking in the pre-show. He's got a 50 Shades of Grey door back there. He likes the old one.
Oh yeah, he's got the.
He needs the torture, baby.
No, I think again though, I think what drives me and what drove Josh at the time is passion, is wanting to complete something and see just to see, just to see. That's, you want to put your metal to the test and you want to see what you're made out of. And you want to see if you could actually do something and people actually admire it and people actually look into it and actually get the same excitement, the same way that you put all that work into a dish and you peek around the corner just to see if that person is enjoying that meal as much as you did prepping it or making it. You do that.
No different than you and me doing the Fat and Spicy show.
You just want people to admire your work, so you're willing to sit there and sacrifice and take that and eat that and put in all that effort just to see if somebody will enjoy it. But I think along the way,
it's part of it, right? But you can never get past how receptive people are to quality, right? Even now, I haven't ran a server in several months now, but people, when they talk to me about it, or they DM me on Discord, they're like, man, that was the best server I was ever in. It did stuff that I've never seen anyone else do. And that is a consistent theme that I hear people tell us, right? And I know it's true because I've never found a server that tried to do the things that we were doing. Never cared to have quests and puzzles and all sorts of weird things, and we did that stuff, and I'm very proud of that. So to me, that's what I take from it. It's like everyone had a very rare, unique experience, and it's like a special club. If you know, you know. Everyone who was a part of AC.
Oh, you heard it here first in the Fat and Spicy Show. Josh is cooking something up. He misses it.
No.
He's part of a secret club. You heard him.
You're coming back, baby.
It's like a secret club because
No, I
if you
get it.
experienced it, you know what we're talking about, and everyone else would be like, if you go to your next city, you're gonna be like, man, you don't understand, man. We would have to find these random puzzles and quests and they had videos, and we were in. It was our
Aliens and cyborgs and
cyborgs and agents.
Like I go and
where you go.
I will tell you this: we have interviewed on the show. We have interviewed city after city after city after city, and I ask him the same question, and it's the same response that we always get. But I always ask the same question: why?
What are you doing?
Why should people choose your city? What are you doing to engage?
You unique.
What? And you know what?
Nobody has the answer.
And they give me the generic answer, and I hate it. And I no, I'm not giving anybody no back shots or anything like that. I'm not telling nobody. No offense to nobody out there, but yeah, they give me the same generic answers. We care. We're doing this, and I'm like, but what are you doing? Oh, well, we got. And if they do events, this is what they say. Oh, what are the events they got? What are the same events that they always do? We got a party. We got a car meets. We got parties. I'm like, these are not
vanilla unicorn.
These are not events.
Yeah. Come to the VU. We're gonna hang out at the VU.
And I just leave so disappointed. I'm just like, man. Yeah. And I'm like, man, these are so generic answers. Like, you're another restaurant that making burgers.
Hey, we filmed a series.
Yeah.
We filmed a series, and I would show that series and all the other things that we filmed, and stack it up against any city anywhere, and let's see.
Hey man, that last thing we worked on, we never finished, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, we can release that. Y'all had too much clothes off. Yeah. No, but I think, and I think I speak for a lot of people. But you definitely, Josh, left your mark on the world of 5M for a lot of people. So kudos to you, man. Congratulations. Hats off to you, man, for that.
Hey, I appreciate it, but when I hear that, like me, I think of it like we, because nothing that AAC couldn't have done it without the collective of the we involved. And that's not just the staff, that is the community, because the community took a chance on us and said, hey, we're from big cities, or we're from this city, but we're gonna try this out. And without that, then we don't really have anything to begin with either. So it was a collective we. Everyone who was a part of it gets to claim it and own it and talk about it because they were there, So it's not like a me thing that I did on my own. You cannot run a 5M city on your own. You cannot do it on your own.
Without people.
Yeah.
Correct. And there are people, I would call out people. I just prefer not to do that because I don't know if they want me to call them out. But everyone who knows who they are, they know what they contributed and what they meant to the city and what we collectively accomplished together. And like I said, everything has a beginning and everything has an end. It's just when you run balls to the wall, you're not going to run a mile. You might get 100 yards. And that's kind of what we did. And I'm okay with that. I'm proud of what we accomplished. Because you can, like I said, you can still watch it today. And you can, I don't care. I know in 5 years, you'll never see a city that does what we did. Period.
Damn right.
Hey, it was the birth of the Fat and Spicy Show, right?
I was just, dude, you read my mind. There would be no Fat and Spicy Show if it wasn't for AAC. You brought Jacob and I together, and it was through that RP that you allowed us to have that we realized, wait, he and I have a chemistry that maybe we can bring outside of the city and offer something more. So,
well, see, I had to do that because Jacob was a piece of crap as an administrator.
I was stealing. Should have seen the logs, man. It was just horrible. I was giving myself billions of dollars.
It's like,
you've given me billions of dollars. How do you think the judge afforded his pizza place? I was a civil servant, man.
Yeah.
He's not here. Take 20 million. Don't tell nobody I gave it to you.
That's crazy, man. That's a good impression, though. I like that.
Fun times.
So
Listen,
aside, so yeah, we are getting down to the nitty gritty.
Cut off. I gotta work tomorrow, baby.
But let's bring it down to this. You know, you've obviously got a hell of a lot of computers behind you, but we know that you do computer job work. Anyways, but you did run your own 5%. What's next? What's next for Josh? What's next for Absolute?
He's gonna run a Red M server.
Yeah, you know.
For me,
any
there is no Absolute anymore. Absolute is just a character on Discord now, or a pseudonym on Discord. Probably is a better way to put it. But for me, it's just life. You know, embracing, you know, real sunshine, real city, real living. You know, really refocused on some of my things in life that I was doing prior to running 5M City. And yeah, I'm enjoying doing that now. It's fulfilling. And like I said, I have nothing but great memories to look back on, so it makes it easy to look back fondly at my 5M experience. But yeah, Forward for me is all real life focused. Nothing digital. I'm not looking for a limelight. I'm not looking for a spotlight. I'm definitely not looking to be in charge of a whole lot of things and moving parts and people again, because that is stressful.
Do you ever think you'll film again?
What's that?
You ever think you'll film again?
That I could do potentially, but I'm just not in the space where I feel like I have the time, you know. But like I haven't lost the passion for it. So the filming, I still have a passion for, like, man, I'd love to do this little cool thing or like try this. But my thing now is just the time. I don't think I have the time to do it. But
now you're too busy living your best life, man, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, give the casinos a break, man. Josh,
so I get to watch all the people out there doing their thing. It's entertaining.
Well, you heard it here first, guys. Josh likes to watch people.
He does. That's what all those computers are for.
Then I get to see you guys go into all these cities and interviewing all these people. Like, I was watching shows, and I catch myself laughing and then realizing, man, it's cool that, you know, I don't feel like, you know, I feel like all of us, you know, come from the same similar backgrounds. It's really cool to see you guys continuing to create your own thing.
I don't know how similar. I never once in my life ever said, you know, when we used to vacation in Hawaii as a kid growing up. I love you, man.
The fact is, man, is you gave Jacob and I a place to do what we want to do, and we've grown, I think, a lot. We've gotten to know each other very well, and here we are with the new Phat and Spicy 2.0, guys. You can actually see us. I think we're going to revamp things a little bit. You might be able to see the studio. We're working on it, but this is just a late night stream to let you guys know that we're still here. We still love you, and Jacob got a camera, so wave to the people, Jacob. Say hi. Say you love them.
Hola, muchachos, ¿cómo están?
No,
there you go.
Isn't it cool to see everybody? Like, I think this is the thing, like, you know, when I was watching your guys' show the other day, and I was like, you know, it's cool, you know, you guys are obviously the #1 podcast in all of 5M. Let's just put that out there. But it's cool.
We're mega superstars, Brad.
You know, but it's cool to see characters, but there's a lot that goes missing, you know, from a podcast perspective when you can't see facial expressions, you can't see their interactions. And I think that that's what makes a show. Like, I gave the analogy the other day, like, could you imagine, like, the Shannon Sharp, Cat Williams interview with no camera?
It wouldn't have worked.
Like, it wouldn't have been a thing. Nobody would have watched it. Nobody knows it or seen it, right? And
I can't watch Jacob roll his eyes at me.
So that's how important, like, being able to see who you're talking to is. And I think it's just it's really cool to be able to see you guys, because I've known you guys for a long time now. You guys are great guys, and you know, I appreciate you guys for you know, just keeping real with me. You don't always agree with me on everything, and I don't always agree with you guys on everything, but we didn't let that come between us, and we just, you know, kept it rolling, and we're good friends to this day, and I really appreciate you. So I just want to thank both of you for that. That's really cool.
We love you, man. You're good.
And you too, Loz.
And you too, Loz.
This is exactly what it is. Well, man, like I said, spending more than time. Law's obviously giving us the red buzzard over there. But hey, man, we appreciate you coming on the show, man. I have definitely enjoyed this interview with you. The whole new aspect, guys. If you love it, if you hate it, let us know. If you're tired of seeing our faces, let us know. We'll go back to the old ways. You know, but this is
Yeah,
all.
I don't look like Spicy. He don't look like Fatsy, but we have fun doing it.
Yeah, I mean,
It's all about the. It's not. It's yeah, but it's not about that. Like it's about like he was saying. There's something about seeing someone on camera. Like I would say like 75% of people. Maybe I'm wrong, but like will watch a stream if it has a person on there too, like on their cam.
And it's funny because there's 75% of us with cameras right now, Roz.
Yeah, I know.
as I said, this is the first time I've ever shown anybody my face.
The first time ever. This is your facial debut.
I know, right? This is horrible now. Now the world's out now. Everybody knows what Walter looks like. Hey, everybody!
Hey, I'm just glad I get to stamp the first episode and the first episode for 2.0.
Right? Give it up. You give it up a round of applause for the man himself, Anton Taxi.
Anton Taxi, baby.
Yo, we appreciate you being on the show again, guys. If you remember to like, share, follow, and subscribe, and a hell of a big thanks to Josh over here for all those subs, man. We appreciate that. Thanks for the love. Guys, if you don't remember, and you forgot, I'm Spicy.
I'm Phat. Wait, what? What the
That's
fuck
not
did
right.
you just do?
My bad. You
Don't
see?
do that.
You see how I did that? That's exactly what Josh does. He just mind fucks people. I'm Phat.
Give it up right. And I'm Spicy.
And this is the Phat and Spicy Show.
Alright, we love you guys. So can I go to bed now, or do we have to do
No, we're going to have to clip the show just to make sure that we even got the show. I don't even think I hit record. That's how
I
bad.
didn't hit record, I swear to God.